Today we're going to be checking out the brand new Polo Red Parfum. So the Parfums have been rolling out strong here from Ralph Lauren. We've had Polo Deep Blue Parfum, we've had Polo Blue Parfum, we had Ralph's Club Parfum last year, and now they're kicking it off with Polo Red Parfum. I like the Polo Red line. I actually like a lot of fragrances from the brand, and on discounters, usually these are pretty reasonably priced. So we'll see if this one holds up to the others. Maybe it's better than the others. We'll have to find out. So here we got the box with the cellophane off. One thing I wanted to point out is these huge designer brands are making a conscious effort to go towards the refillable direction, and they make sure you know about it. So, and usually it's going to be in their marketing. They put it on the box as well. And look, I think it's a good thing, but that's kind of the direction this is going. However, it does beg the question, how will that affect, gray market used bottle sales? You can buy used bottles off of eBay. The Facebook groups, the swapping, selling groups are very popular. It's a good way for people to save money, but with all these bottles being able to be unscrewed and refilled, kind of makes you wonder how that's going to work out. Now, obviously, there have been some bottles that you've been able to unscrew and refill for years now, even the old man Sarah's and things of that nature. So this isn't a brand new thing, but it is becoming more mainstream. Hey, let me know down in the comments. What do you guys think of the refillable thing? So here's the bottle. Looks very classy. I like the updated presentation that they are doing with these Polo bottles. So Polo Blue Parfum got the update, similar bottle shape to this one here. I really like it. Very classy, elegant, sleek. These look nice sitting on your shelf, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and get this one on skin. Nice atomizer on this one too. Definitely very sweet, warm and sweet. And a good heavy dose of spices in here. It's very heavy-handed on those. Definitely something that's immediately going to appeal to the masses, and this is one of those things where it would do really well in a department store. This is sitting there. It does catch your eye. You see the logo on the front, the nice deep red bottle. You pick it up, you smell it, and as a normal everyday consumer, you put your nose to that and you go, yeah, that'll get the job done. And that's really what this does. I mean, this will get the job done. Off my initial first impressions here, it smells fantastic. However, it's nothing that is going to get you super excited, most likely, as a fragrance enthusiast. That being said, it is very pleasant and I do like it. And really, when you're looking at big designer brands, and especially Ralph Lauren, for the most part, they do stay pretty conservative with their fragrances. They don't try to branch out too much like, Gucci has done in the past and things of that nature. They generally stay kind of in the realm of mass appeal, kind of like Paco Rabanne. And when you look at the success of these brands, clearly that means they're doing something right, and that's what the people want. But again, we're talking about the mass market, not us. At the end of the day, the fragrance community is a drop in the bucket in terms of the sales that we contribute compared to just everybody out there at the consumer level buying all of these releases at full retail from their local Macy's or Sephora down the road, right? That's what they are targeting, and that just isn't us. Let's take a look at the note breakdown here. We have bergamot, blood orange, and pink pepper off the top. In the mid, we have absinthe, lavender, and iris. In the base, we have opopanax, musk, and cedarwood. So the note breakdown is, again, nothing to write home about. Of those notes, what do I get? Definitely the pink pepper. I kind of commented on that spiciness off the top. A little bit of the blood orange off the top, not a ton. Moving along there, for sure, some lavender, some cedarwood. Not really a whole lot of the iris yet, which is kind of a bummer for me. Maybe it will start to come through a little bit more as we get further into the dry down. Again, we're only a few minutes into this, and it's not there yet. Maybe it will be at some point, but definitely some sweetness. A lot of that would be coming from the opopanax here in this instance, kind of giving off a sweet, balsamic, kind of rich, warm, and somewhat spicy note as well, which is where that's coming from. The absinthe, not really getting a ton of that either here, but it is pleasant for sure. When you compare this to some of the other Polo Reds, does kind of deviate a little bit here, because some of those are really, really spicy and kind of, in one way or another, a little bit more even dumbed back a little bit more. So those kind of maybe even a little bit more basic, so to speak. When you look at the note breakdown of Polo Red Eau de Parfum, that one does share some similar notes here, the Opoponax, the musk, the lavender, that sort of thing. However, that one does have some cranberry and some more aromatics, like the addition of clary sage and that sort of thing. And the benzoin also does have a labdanum accord in there. This one's kind of just supplementing some things, using an iris instead, bringing in some pink pepper, blood orange off the top, just tweaking it a little bit. And I think for good reason. I think this is a nice adjusted version of Polo Red in the direction of being actually a little bit more mature. So again, to reiterate here, not something brand new smelling. Chances are you'll put your nose to this one and be like, yeah, that's familiar. You know, I've smelled things similar to that before. However, when you compare it up against the rest of the Polo Red line, the original, the Polo Red Intense, which is very hard to get these days, the Eau de Parfum version, it really does take a different approach, and I kind of prefer this approach, this new Parfum. I think it's a little bit more refined, a little bit more grown up compared to some of those others, which have a little bit more of a youthful and maybe more generic approach. It's kind of how I look at it. All around, not bad. And I am liking what I'm getting here as it does settle down a little bit more. It's kind of falling into itself. You know, off the top, it can always be a little bit hard to judge because everything's just going crazy all at once when you first get it out there. But once you give it some time to settle on skin and everything kind of has a chance to work its way into wherever it's supposed to be, and you start smelling it, you can kind of start to pick apart the different layers. And I do get a pretty solid aromatic base. I get a pretty solid base of woods, and then some of that sweetness and that resinous type of smell, and then even some of the spicy pink pepper also. You know, definitely a little bit more of an aromatic approach here with that lavender coming in pretty strong. You do pick up on a good amount of it here, which kind of, again, adds to a little bit more of that mature aspect. You take a look at a lot of the very popular, more mature scents for men. A lot of them are aromatic fougères and things of that nature, which use a lot of lavender and things of the sort. I'm not comparing this to an aromatic fougère. It just simply isn't in that category, but you kind of see the correlation there, using the aromatics to kind of give it a little bit more of a modern, yet refined and gentlemanly approach to the DNA. This one doesn't have any of the coffee or the cranberry or the amber of the original, right? Doesn't quite have that going on. Same thing, comparing it to Polo Red Extreme, one of my favorite coffee scents, also hard to get. Doesn't have the coffee, doesn't have that type of thing. So, you know, it just kind of is, in a way, off in its own corner, kind of doing its own thing here. Again, we're talking a true Parfum concentration out of this one, and when you see it on your skin, you can actually kind of tell. It has a little bit of a shine to it, typical of Parfums, where they're heavier and sometimes a little bit oily. Not as much this one as some others, especially some niche Parfums, which really do leave like a straight up residue on your skin for a while. This one's not to that level, but you can tell that it is wearing like a Parfum. It's not projecting, it's not screaming off of my skin. However, as it's been settling here, it hasn't really budged in terms of feeling like it's starting to drop off and fade off. Yeah, it's only been not even 10 minutes, but a lot of times with weaker fragrances, you can usually tell from the very beginning if it's going to be something that fizzles out quick or if it's going to at least have respectable, decent staying power. And I'm not expecting to get super crazy performance out of this one. I don't think it's going to be a 12, 14-hour performer. I don't see that happening. I could be wrong, and I would love to be wrong. But I think at a Parfum, just with this style of scent, if we could get a good 9 to 10 hours out of it, I would be more than happy with that. But we'll have to see. It looks like some people have been getting good performance out of it so far, so maybe it will definitely impress me more than I'm expecting to. Quality is great, nice and smooth. You know, I've never really had an issue or a bone to pick with Ralph Lauren when it comes to the quality of their scents, and this one's no exception either. Nice from the opening all the way into the dry down. Definitely pleasant. That opening does smell great. You get a lot of the aromatics off the opening up in the air. Citrus aromatics going on with some of that sweetness backing it up. But on skin, it is a completely different wearing experience. So make sure you are testing this on skin. So that's going to do it. Polo Red Parfum, not bad. Not going to go down as one of my favorite releases of 2023. I would say it's right now probably ranking somewhere in the middle. I mean, I've smelled some so far that have just really been letdowns, or maybe not even letdowns because maybe I was expecting them to not be all that exciting, but we've definitely seen some things this year that have been thrown together and just pushed out just for the sake of it. I don't think this is one of those. I think this is not a half bad release, and when you can get it on discounters for below retail, it'll be a decent pickup for kind of the cooler fall winter months. That's going to do it, guys. Polo Red Parfum. Let me know if you have tried this one down below, and if you have, what do you think of it? That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.